Maayong gabi, Cebu. No, may buntag, Cebu. Sorry. Magandang umaga, Pilipinas. I am Dr. Raul Inad, broadcasting live from Ave Maria, Florida, in the United States of America. Today, I ask the question, totoo ba na ang pagkain sa Pilipinas ay inflamatoryo? O Cebuano, tinuod ba gud nga ang pagkaon sa Pilipinas maka cause of inflammation? Ano ba what we're trying to say na inflammatory? Inflammatoryo or inflammatory food means that ito ang mga pagkain na maka-produce og triglyceride and specifically small LDL, which is itong particle ng bad cholesterol na masyadong maliliit. Ito ang mag-penetrate sa blood vessels, specifically itong coronary arteries or ang blood supply sa ating ng heart, ng kasing-kasing sa Cebu. Well, with that, it needs, dapat natin kukunin ang importante na test ng lipid. Ito ang NMR or Nuclear Magnetic Resonance Testing. Because ang ordinary testing ng lipid na ginagamit sa mga doktor, hindi kumpleto. Ito lang ang total cholesterol. Total cholesterol hindi suficiente para pag-assess sa total cholesterol or ang significant cholesterol na dapat natin at intindihin. Ito ang small LDL or the maliliit na particles ng bad cholesterol or LDL at ang good cholesterol, which is the HDL and the triglyceride. Alam natin to. Pero we can only find this in a particular test like NMR. In LabCorp here in America, it's NMR, or in Quest, it would be the cardio IQ. Arlene, thank you for watching. Because dili tanan nga pagtaas sa cholesterol, the level of cholesterol, yung total LDL, hindi yan dapat ang basis sa pag-decide kung to start a cholesterol medicine, especially statin. This bad cholesterol, itong mga cholesterol na sinasabi ko, na triglyceride at small LDL, the small particle, pwede yan ma-heal or ma-resolve or in Spanish, pwedeng mabahar. Because it is related to diet. So then the question is, tinuod ba nga ang pagkaon sa Pilipinas inflammatoryo? Well, dili tanan, but kasagaran, yes. Kaya ang particles ng small LDL o triglyceride gikan sa asukar. While pagkaon sa Pilipinas, daghan asukar. We have to admit it. Maraming sugar sa Filipino cuisine. Number one, itong mga refined carbohydrates. Pag sabi ko, refined carbohydrates, ibig sabihin ko ay ang rice, for example. Hindi yan personalidad na because you're eating rice or you're not eating rice, you are avoiding to become a Filipino. No, Filipino ka, kasing-kasing yan. Dapat sa puso mo, Filipino ka. Pero we have to admit, rice is a refined carbohydrates na madali siyang mag-produce ng sugar. So when you eat rice, kumakain ka ng sugar, ang asukar sa dugo mo, sa serum, tataas. Ito pang pan, pasta, white potato. Well, sa Pilipinas, hindi naman white potato ang problema. It's okay. Kamote is good. Use kamote instead of white potato. Pero itong rice, kanin, o mais, o lahat na ginaling, grinded, because itong fiber na nag-protect sa wheat or sa grain, it will expose the carbohydrates, especially the amylopectin A sa wheat, na pwede siyang maka-increase sa visceral fat dito. The problem is, this is going to keep your blood sugar go up. Bread and pasta will do the same. When these refined carbohydrates goes to your blood, ang nangyari, what happened, the pancreas, ang organ responsible to produce insulin, tataas, it will go up. So what will happen? That particular insulin, itong insulin, ang hormone insulin, is the cause of increasing the number, itong maraming cell na fat dito, here at the waistline. And not only that, ito pa, it multiplies the number of cell of fat. Entonces, when you have this scenario of refined carbohydrates, the first thing that will increase, ito ang tataas, ang waistline mo. Your waistline increases. And that is the reason that the waistline is a significant marker of inflammation. It's not about aesthetics. Hindi lang siya para pa-beauty. It's health. If your waistline, especially kung Pilipino ka, kung Pilipino, the waistline of women has to go down below 30 inches. And you measure it from this hip and make a parallel line straight, not in the umbilical cord, hindi sa pusod, but you have to do it parallel line sa ground. Less than 30 inches is the goal. Kung lalaki, it has to be less than 35 inches if you're adult. For Anglo-Saxon, I don't know why they allow 40 inches, but that's the statistics. This sugar stimulates this increase in the waistline. Yan ang goal mo. Huwag, don't chase the weight. Measuring the weight for health or to look for to chase the weight is an old concept of wellness. What is important is the waistline, because the waistline is the marker of inflammation, because ito ang markador sa inflammatorio, because of the white cell, the visceral fat. Now, this visceral fat, as I said, is related to the intake of sugar. Sugar then increases your cholesterol, your norepinephrine from the adrenal gland. Ito ang organ above the kidney that produces norepinephrine and epinephrine. Epinephrine and norepinephrine, ito ang mag-vasoconstrict ng mga blood vessels mo. This blood vessel will constrict, decreasing the supply. Ito babahag ang supply sa blood sa kidney or sa renin to activate a system, a renin-angiotensin system. Ito ang cause ng blood pressure elevation. Yan. Related siya sa sugar, refined carbohydrates. Zeni, it's about, no, may gabi sangat. Oh, that's right, gabi is sangat. It's evening in my hometown. Thank you, Zeni. What happened is the refined carbohydrates like bread, pasta, and white potato, especially the white potato is fried, kung iprito nyo, ito ang pinaka dangerous, ng peligroso na pag-prepare sa food. So what will happen? Go back again. Sugar, refined carbohydrates, from refined carbohydrates, increases insulin, and then insulin will increase the formation of fat. Ito, dadami ang fat cells nyo dito sa waistline. Not only, it will increase the size. So, ano pa ba ang sources ng sugar? Stress. Well, acute stress will help you go. Ito ang defense mechanism mo. This is your defense mechanism to go fast so that you will not be caught by the predator. This is a primitive response. O ang ako pang amigo, sigun sa amigo in San Francisco, si Rani, he said, stress is like mura ka gigukod nga dili maapsan. You're being chased, but you cannot get caught. That is the most stressful thing. Might as well get caught, surrender, and rest. So, you can make a laugh about that, but it is true. That's the sensation of chronic stress. Unresolved problem. Thinking about problems, about relationship, about og sa Cebu pa, dili mabayaran ng utang, magsige gukod sa utang. But you know, we joke about this, but this is reality in life. These are unresolved stress that can give you all this increased cortisol. Ito ang cortisol, itong hormone ng stress hormone that is responsible. Ito ang responsable sa pagtaas ng glucose or asukar. It increases the sugar in your blood. Now, when the sugar is going up, or itong tataas ang sugar mo, ito ang mangyari. You know, mag-produce og adrenal gland, ang adrenal gland mag-produce ng norepinephrine and epinephrine, and the blood pressure goes up. So when you're having anxiety, for example, kung meron kang ansiedad, or anxiety, or depression, for example, the mechanism is that your cortisol level goes up constantly, and that will also constantly increase the level of your sugar. Tataas ang sugar mo. And then, because of the chronic increase of your sugar, ito, ang blood pressure mo, tataas din. The blood pressure goes up. So, they are connected. If you notice, I have not mentioned about salt. Salt was the previous theory of medicine that can increase the blood pressure. And yeah, that's true because of ang salt or asin is sodium chloride. By osmotic effect, it absorbs or retains fluid. So when there's increased volume, blood pressure goes up. And the more, when the pressure of is decreased, the blood flow is decreased, increased volume and decreased lumen of the blood vessels will increase the blood pressure. So, dalawang mechanism. There are two mechanisms in the blood pressure effect of sugar and anxiety. So the first thing that you have to do is this. Ito. Bawasan ang sugar. Well, I'm not saying to eliminate sugar. Bawasan. Especially the refined carbohydrates, rice, pasta, o pan. Depende sa problema mo. So, ug ang blood pressure nimo, ug ang blood sugar mo taas, if your blood pressure and your blood sugar is up, well, by all means, ito ang cause sa blood pressure elevation at sugar. So, perhaps, siguro, you can abstain from it. Abstain from sugar or refined carbohydrates at least for 3 months. What I'm trying to say is, instead of a big mound of rice in your plate, maybe just a spoonful or maybe half cup. maybe none. But if you substitute this craving for carbohydrates by vegetables, itong mga gulay, especially name it, a pinakbit sa Pilipinas. It's a concoction of many different vegetables. It's very delicious. And for example, in Bicol Express, kangkong, these are good food that can fill your stomach. Ito ang pwedeng to fill your stomach so that ang pagkabusog, ang feeling of satiety or pagkabusog will improve. So you will not be craving for this unnecessary craving for sweet and salty food or junk food. Well, let alone yung mga pretzels, mga ano pa yan, mga junk food doon. It should be avoided because this has no bearing in your health. It does not contribute to your health. There's no fiber. So you will keep on eating all this junk food and you will never feel full, satiety. The problem is, it is related to stress. Kung may stress ka, like chronic sleep deprivation, for example, or when you're solving a lot of problems all the time, the appetite, yung longing for junk food, salty and sweet food, is also predominant. So dual problem. So what is the solution? First, the Catholic teaching or the Christian faith would always say fast. So lo primero, the first thing that you need to fast is not just the whole food, but fast first from sugar, rice, bread, pasta, and white potatoes, for example. What about the fruit salad? It might be a good idea to just get a whole fruit without condensed milk or ice cream or halo-halo. I have a friend, meron akong amigo sa Pilipinas na nagbakasyon. He's having vacation in the Philippines. He's having a grind time. He drinks Coke to refresh him from his thirst. He eats halo-halo after playing golf. Halo-halo, Michael, is a crushed ice. You put ice cream, you put condensed milk, and you put different sweetened fruit, and that becomes halo-halo. It's sweet, very sweet. No wonder his blood pressure went up. His blood sugar went up to 250. Hindi pwede masorpresa because you have all the elements there. Plus, you might have stress also solving all the different problems in the Philippines or anywhere, but this can contribute because all these things end up in cortisol, sugar. Sugar goes to the adrenal, stimulate the adrenal gland to produce epinephrine and norepinephrine and cause increase in blood pressure. Pero alam mo ba, itong sugar, pwede rin na makakos ng anxiety, depression, and anger. Bakit? Why is sugar related to anxiety, depression, and anxiety and bad feelings like anger? Because sugar stimulates the amygdala, the sympathetic tone, and the sympathetic tone will increase the impulse to the amygdala. Itong amygdala is a center of anxiety, depression, and anger. So if you have the recipe, you eat a lot of, it becomes a cycle. If you have stress, you eat chocolate, you eat halo-halo, you eat ice cream, anything sweet. It produces this appetite for more sweet food and salty food. And the more, this will increase your sympathetic tone, increasing the stimulus to the amygdala. Ito, mag-stimulate sa amygdala. Ang amygdala is the center for anxiety, depression, and anger. So yan, related siya. So the first thing, if you have those problems, stop taking refined carbohydrates that might produce sugar. O bawasan ang refined carbohydrates like rice, white potato, ice cream, halo-halo. What else do you have there? Leche flan. Um, make a dessert out of something that with fiber. For example, um, what can I think about? Whole fruit, but only one, not a fruit salad. Especially kung if you add more condensed milk and ice cream on top of that. That's the typical Filipino dessert. So, is the Filipino food inflammatory? It could be. Ang pagkain Filipino is inflammatory? Pwede rin. Pero, marami naman pagkain sa Pilipinas na pwede natin kainin na hindi pwede maka-increase sa sugar. There's so many food in the Philippines that you can eat without necessarily increasing your sugar. For example, we have this puchero. Puchero, I can explain, well, the best way or the most healthy way of cooking food, ang pinaka-healthy na pag-prepare sa food is to steam and boil. Whatever you can imagine, pwede ma-imagine mo lahat. Basta i-boil mo lang, i-steam. So puchero is number one. Now, is the fat of the legs of it is made out of you boil and steam for a long time those legs of the animal, of the beef or of the pork, so that the ligaments become so soft. You put some spices. Yan, pwede yan. Now, are there other ways of cooking? Maybe slow cooking. What about lechon, for example? I think lechon can pass if it's not overcooked, like brown. And choose the part that is soft, the belly part. Because the worst thing you can do is to grill it. Grilling it turns the meat brown. Ito, ma-change ang color sa meat mo into brown. That is actually a sign of oxidation, of aging of the meat. You don't want that. Hindi mo gusto yan. Because the meat that is brown is very dangerous to the health. It produces what you call advanced glycated end products, or AGE. Itong AGE, marami siya, 7 or 8 identified. It will decrease your metabolism. Itong AGE substances will decrease the activity, your metabolism. And posible siya na maka-cause ng cancer. It is possible that it can cause cancer. That's why grilling is probably not the best. It's not the healthiest. Sa Pilipinas, you just put it isugba mo. But I think slow roasting could be a good alternative. Pero dami naman mga gulay sa Pilipinas. We have a lot of vegetables. Pinakbit, I always mention. Kangkong, Bicol Express. When you order something in the restaurant or in your family dinner, palihog, por favor, please put vegetables at the center. And make sure siguraduhin mo na ang pagkain has a good portion of vegetables. Why is this important? The vegetables, or the fiber in the vegetables, will help decrease the release of glucose in your blood. It will decrease, hihina ang pag-release ng glucose o asukar sa dugo or sa serum. So what is the effect? If there's less sugar seen in the blood, ang pancreas slows down the release of insulin. Remember the effect of insulin? Insulin, pwede siyang maka-increase sa fat cells, the size of the fat cells, and also it will decrease the multiplication or the production of fat cells, especially here in your belly. So if you complain about increased size of your belly, don't think of liposuction, because that will not improve your metabolism. When you have that, consider one, controlling your stress. Fasting, decrease fasting from sugar, refined carbohydrates, and increase your vegetables. So how do you control your stress? My friend here in the audience, Michael, knows how to guide himself. Guided breathing, simple. Seni, you can do this in Pilipinas. Take a moment, takes only 4 minutes. Ito, inhale mo for 4 counts, you hold 4 counts, and then exhale 6 counts slowly and hold 4. Let's do it again. Inhale, 4, hold 4, exhale 6, hold 4. I-repeat mo to. You repeat this for 20 repetitions. The duration is about 4 minutes. If you do this 20 times, you'll have 4 minutes of resetting. Ito ang technique ng elite athletes before they go for a major competition, or mga artists, for example, pianists. They do this breathing to cool their nerves. If you do this in the morning, at noon, alas 12, 3 o'clock, mag-recite ka ng Divine Chaplet of Divine Mercy, where you say, for the sake of your sorrowful passion, when you inhale, exhale, have mercy on us sinners. It's a beautiful prayer, pinakamagandang devotion given by Jesus to Saint Faustina for a good reason. And it also helps your health. And then before you go home, for example, do the 4 minute. Inhale, exhale 20 times. And before you go to bed, after you have said goodbye and hello to your family, find a dark spot, cool down your temperature of your room, and then inhale, exhale 20 times. So 4 times a day. Ito is very important. Ito is Spanish naman ko. Ito ay muy importante. Pinaka-importante ito. Because you need to reset your sympathetic tone to parasympathetic tone. Ug ang doktor nyo, hindi mag-discuss ng sympathetic and parasympathetic tone, ask. Tanungin mo siya. Because ang lahat ng infirmity or illness is based on the behavior or the balance of the autonomic nervous system. Whether it's coming from the brain, stroke, epilepsy, digestive system, or anything, or immune system, it is related to the autoimmune system, nervous system. Ito ang sympathetic tone, fight, flight, ayaw mo yan, chronic. You need to be in the parasympathetic tone. And to be able to maintain the parasympathetic tone, o pwede ma-maintain ang parasympathetic tone, it's rest and digest. Ito ang pinaka-importante na parte sa autonomic nervous system, or the part of the autonomic nervous system that you need to dwell in. Ito ang healthy side of your body. Because fight-flight is no good for you. Cortisol, sugar, blood pressure increase, it also destroys your gut and the immune system. Well, malapit naman tayo mag 30 minutes. Ito lang. In conclusion, is the food in the Philippines inflammatory? Inflammatoryo ba ang mga pagkain sa Pilipinas? Posible. If you dwell on the refined carbohydrates, mound of rice or corn, relax. Ginagmay lang. It's not about the personality or you being standoffish over the Filipino food. You have to control. Kontrola mo. pan, pasta. These are refined carbohydrates. Lalo na ang soft drinks sa Pilipinas, ang ice cream, ang halo-halo, fruit salad. Por favor, palihog, decrease those sugar because that will provoke increased sugar, diabetes, hypertension, an increase in your waistline that you don't like because not only it's aesthetically unpleasant, it will also provoke inflammation that will cause heart attack and stroke. Stress, most important, manage your stress by guided breathing and meditation, especially if you meditate on the unconditional love of Jesus, His passion. If you say the rosary, kung magdasal ka ng rosaryo, ito ang mag-heal mo sa mga infirmity mo, mentally, physically, and your soul. Ito si Dr. Raul Inad from Ave Maria, Florida. I'm Dr. Inad from Ave Maria, Florida. Once again, discussing about medicine and faith. Sugar, food, stress, meditation. Ito. On Friday, we attempt again to discuss other aspects of medicine and faith. I hope you like this. Sana magustuhan nyo. I-share nyo, please. I-share nyo sa mga kaibigan nyo, sa family. Please share to your family and friends. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel and Facebook channel so that you will be alerted. Pwede kayong ma-alert kung when we have a live video or other videos that we are going to produce. God bless everyone. Maayong gabi, Pilipinas. Good morning, America. Have a good one. Bye-bye.